Hi everyone, I'm not going to talk about pay per lead or marketing or anything today. I'm going to talk about a few things that have been working for me so far as like an entrepreneur, I guess, and as a human being over the last kind of 6 weeks of 2020 and what's kind of changed for me, or things that I'm testing within my own kind of personal life that have helped me become, more efficient and more patient and in a better mood and stuff like that. So the first thing, and guess what, I'm not the first person to push this thing here, but honestly I'm a huge fan and I love it. It's called an OURA ring, and what it does, for those of you who don't know, it tracks your sleep basically. So each morning when I wake up, I'll get a score out of 100, which tells me, it's based on a number of different factors, but the amount of sleep you got, the amount of REM sleep you got, deep sleep, the amount you're awake and restless, plus the amount of exercise you had the previous day, it kind of all, and a number of other factors, all tell it, body temperature and heartbeat and all of that. It all tallies that up and gives you a score out of 100. And generally the cutoff point is 80. Anything above 80, you're gonna have a not too bad day. Anything below 80, it's like, yeah, you're gonna struggle. Maybe you shouldn't go to the gym. You're probably not gonna be fantastic in the office with concentration and things like that. And it's taken me down this kind of rabbit hole of trying to, get better sleep and testing new things and trying out new things, because I never paid attention to this at all. And it turns out that I'm getting, a minimal amount of what they call deep sleep. I've never had more than an hour of deep sleep since I've been wearing this ring. Last night I think I had 50 minutes, which was almost a record for me. So something's going wrong, and some nights I'll have literally 1 minute of deep sleep and think that I'm well rested and feel pretty good when I wake up the next morning. And it's pretty amazing, really. And I've been testing some new things. Like that's the next thing that I want to talk about is reading before bed. That's been working really well for me. I haven't traditionally been a massive reader. I'll go through spurts and try different things. But what I've found, I think I was listening to a Tim Ferriss podcast, and one of his guests was saying that he wasn't a big reader himself, but then he found autobiographies of people, whether they be in business or sport or whatever, that have been through and struggled and found success, and then their journey from all the way from humble beginnings all the way to success. And I love those stories, just listening to them and understanding and learning about the objections and the struggles and the pain that they had. It's been amazing for me. I've read one, I'm reading Made in America by Sam Walton, at the Walmart guy, and that's a really interesting book. And I've also just finished Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, the story of Nike, and how and how this guy built it from absolutely nothing. He was like a kind of hippie student traveling the world, and these stories are just fantastic, and I'm really enjoying it. But I'm also finding that if I give myself, how I was talking about not having any deep sleep before, if I give myself 15 to 20 minutes of reading before bed, I always get up towards that 40, 50 minute type deep sleep. And that seems to be linked to me reading before bed, which is really interesting. So if you're not doing that, give it a go. The other thing is, obviously drinking alcohol before bed. I find if I have more than kind of 2 glasses of wine, it starts getting a little bit, it starts affecting me, and I don't do as well. So I minimize that. Also how much you eat before you go to sleep. And I've also found that I'm going to bed earlier. So because I'm kind of waking up and I'm seeing, 6 hours sleep or whatever, I'm like, geez, that's not enough to have a great day. I'm starting to go to bed earlier and waking up earlier. So I'm trying to get at least 7 hours sleep, and my readiness scores have generally been in the high 80s for the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to bed at kind of 9:45, waking up at 5 o'clock. And it just seems to work really well for me. I've got plenty of energy at the end of the day, and it's working well. The next thing I'm doing religiously now, well, it's just always happening, is that I've gone into my iPhone settings and I have asked the iPhone to dim itself as soon as the sun goes down, and all the way up until when the sun comes up the next day. And that's made a big difference as well. I don't know too much about the blue light and how everyone talks about that, but I'm sure it tricks your brain into thinking that it's daytime, and when you're on the phone a lot before bed, then it's going to keep you awake. That's fairly obvious to me. And by the way, everything that I'm talking about here seems to be related to sleep, because I tell you what, you know, optimizing this and you know, attempting to get better sleep, and it's just night and day. I feel so much better, more patience, better with the kids, better with the wife, just doing a lot better. The second last thing is earplugs. I've spoken about this before. My wife has a little funny little snoring clicky thing that she does sometimes, which drives me insane, has done for about 15 years. I bought some earplugs from Max, it's on Amazon, the Max Silicon, M-A-C-K-S, silicon earplugs. I chuck them in when I go to bed, and it's just made a huge difference as well. And I can't believe I've been suffering for years on this one. If Emily's listening to this, she's probably going to kill me. But anyway, and the last thing is like looking after my body a little bit better. We all know about diet, and I'm pretty religious with my exercise and the gym and things like that. But one thing I haven't been doing too much over the last 5 years or so is kind of stretching, you know, rolling out. I've got you know, the foam rollers on the calf muscles, on the hip flexors, and all of these type of things tend to just make me feel a lot more loose and in less pain than normal, because I do, you know, lift weights 4 or 5 times a week. I play basketball, starting to play basketball again now, and this has made a big difference to just me feeling a little bit better physically. So yeah, a bit of a summary. Again, nothing to do with pay per lead, but for those of you who are running businesses and are struggling with sleep and exercise and you know, just being energetic in the office each day, then these tips are really going to help you. It's kind of get the OURA Ring, just do it, it's awesome. You can also get it on the iPhone and Fitbit, I've learnt recently. But for me, OURA Ring sleeping, it sucks when it's on the wrist, so this just works for me. Earplugs, you know, that's an easy fix. Reading before bed, it's going to help you grow and get better general knowledge and things like that, but also makes you sleep better. And then there's dimming the phone, which is just a really quick fix. You know, maybe half of you listening to this video aren't doing it. And then there's going to bed early and getting up early. It's just, I don't know, for me, it seems like it just makes the day much better if I'm trying to do all my most important work in the morning. Everyone kind of knows that, right? It's common sense. So give that a go. And I'm sure if you combine all of these things and just test it out for a little while, it's easy to do. For me, I'm never good at sticking with a habit and making it last. I'm terrible at that type of stuff. But for me, this has been relatively easy, and what drives the whole thing is this. Because I'm waking up and I'm scoring in the 70s, and I'm like, geez, you know, I'm competitive. What can I do to push that score up the next day? And then I wake up like I did this morning and I was scoring 88. Some people might not think that's fantastic, some of the real OURA Ring geeks, but for me, that makes a big difference to my day, and I'm fighting fit and ready to go. So if you've enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about, you know, little tips and tricks like this, as well as the pay per lead business, then ring that bell below, share this with your friends, and we'll speak soon.